Hi guys, it's Circle M. Thanks so much for tuning in. Today we're going to take a look at the MOLLE 2 Rucksack. The MOLLE 2 Rucksack is an excellent long-term pack if you've spent any time doing anything in the Army where you're staying in the field for an extended time. You're probably very familiar with this ruck. It is, for its price and what it can do, a pretty good deal if you can find it on the used surplus market. This review is not going to include the 2 sustainment pouches because they are not technically part of the ruck and they may or may not come with it depending on where you buy it from and whether or not they're offered with it. So we're going to get into it, we're going to look at it, and I'm going to show you why I really like this rucksack. First, on this ruck, the frame is pretty good for what it is. I did use this professionally, technically, and I can assure you that any frame backpack after you wear it for long enough is going to start to rub, but this one is decent for what it is. The padding is okay, and it does have some adjustability to it so you can get this pack to sit differently depending on how you like it to ride. It does come with the load lifter adjustment straps on the top. It has a chest strap and the waist strap, although you probably won't end up using the chest or the waist strap. I certainly do not use them. One of the special features that it has that these military bags come with is the quick breakaway strap. So if you take contact, you don't have to wait and shrug your bag off. You can pull this tab and it'll pop the straps off for you and just drop it on the ground so you can run straight to cover. As would be expected, there is plenty of MOLLE on the outside and on the top to add extra pouches to it. I personally wish there was a little more consistency in the spacing between it to give you a little bit more variety, a little bit more options, but I can't complain because it does have more than some of the other bags. The adjustment straps on the side and on the front are pretty decent for what they are. They can help you to snug this bag down quite a bit. However, even when it's fully empty, if you snug them down as far as they go, it still will not collapse this pack because it's not really what this is meant for. This is meant to be full of gear and used in a filled configuration. It would only be crushed down for something like storage. One of the features I like the most about this bag is the separate smaller compartment at the bottom compared to the top. So internally there is a divider that you can use to separate the top from the bottom. If you want to run it as one giant pack, you don't use the divider. If you want the second smaller area, you use the divider. I personally love that secondary divider because this is where you would put, for example, your sleep system. You don't have to dig through or wreck the entire bag to get what you want, and if you take contact in the middle of the night, all you have to do is stuff your sleep system into the bottom of the bag, buckle it closed really quick, and you can take off without having to fiddle with the rest of the bag or make a mess of your stuff. Of course, such an awesome feature would not be without its faults. The way that these straps go to connect to the top of the bag mean that you either have to fish around the straps to get into this bottom bag area, or, as most people do, you actually have to just unbuckle it. That's not the end of the world, but what it does mean is that the top of the bag will flop open and it won't be super secure. But depending on how quick and how skilled you are with it, you can access this bottom area pretty easily without disturbing the rest of the bag. And what I would do when I would use this in the field is I would have this open when I'd be sleeping, and then I would buckle the buckle onto the top of the bag, but slightly loose and off to the side. So I could really quick stuff my sleep system in here, grab the buckle it in place, and run off. It would not be perfect, but it would be secure enough that the gear wouldn't come out as long as you don't have like really small items in here, but the top of the pack would still be strapped shut with the bigger straps, so you're not at risk of losing your equipment or have it flop all over the place. The bottom does have a pretty decent amount of storage space. I can fit 1 travel pillow and 1 regular bed pillow using the pillow standard. I love the pillow standard because it's something that you probably have at home. It's an easy way to check. It's also a great way to make fun of the officers who are running with Nerf rucks. In the bottom, there are no additional pouches or attachments other than the main compartment itself, and you can see here's the zipper for the divider that goes to the top part. There is small drain holes here, but hopefully you're not submerging your ruck, so that shouldn't be a problem. If you are buying one of these bag used, one of the things you're going to want to check for is these straps, because these do get used pretty hard and they can start to fray. And nothing is more annoying than having a strap break on you, especially if you're out in the field and you don't have a way to repair it quickly, easily, or efficiently. So if you are going to buy one of these, I would double check these straps because these usually experience the most stress out of any part on this bag. The top part of the bag itself, like I was mentioning with the 2 buckles that secure it, does have a map or hygiene compartment into it. This is just Velcro. You can put small thin items up here and it will hold them pretty well. You do have this secondary internal mesh that extends from the main body of the pack to help you fill out the top however you may need it. And it uses these two separate drawstrings on the two internal parts to be able to secure your load effectively. In the main compartment, we can fit one, a whoopee, two, three, four pillows. Plenty of space in here. This is what you would use if you were going on a long field trip. There's plenty of space in here to put a lot of stuff, and these do pop up on the surplus used market for relatively cheap. There are small tie downs that are located on the inside, but other than that, there are no big internal pockets or pouches or anything else. It's just basically a giant open compartment. It does have some water repellency to it, but I wouldn't rely on it. Instead, I would use an actual dedicated rain cover in order to ensure that all of your items stay dry. With the amount of space that this bag can hold, and for how cheap these usually pop up on surplus sites or eBay, I think that if you grab one of these, you're getting a pretty good deal, especially if you're looking for a pack that you're looking for long-term sustainment. You're going to be out in the field for a while. You have a lot of stuff that you can carry, which doesn't even include the sustainment pouches or other things that you can add to the MOLLE to the outside to expand it to make it even bigger for its carrying capacity. So if you're considering purchasing one of these, I think that you're going to get a really good deal. Make sure, of course, that the straps are in good condition, but it wears well, it carries well, and it's very configurable to whatever you're trying to do. So I hope this review was helpful for you. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope to see you next time.